For those who are watching the recording, this meeting was called to order. We called the roll, and I apologize for not hitting record. That's on me. Call the roll one more time, just for the record.
Okay, Mayor Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Engelhardt.
Here.
Mr. Campion.
Here.
Ms. Giffen.
Yeah.
Ms. Weitzman.
Here.
Ms. Swingle.
Here.
Mr. Schlanger.
Here.
Mr. Doshna.
Here.
Mr. Hain.
Here.
Mr. Favors.
Here.
Engineer Clerico.
Here.
Attorney Wilhelm.
Present.
Planner Kyle, Attorney Kaczynski, Engineer Troutman, and Mr. Eckel are all excused.
Thank you. And again, that's me being rusty. So we didn't have anyone on public comments. The mayor deferred to Council Vice President Engelhardt. Floor is yours.
Okay, so I got a bit flustered when you said the long report. I just wanted to report that myself and Councilman Levitt attended the county's kind of open final report on the bike kind of plan for the entire county. It was really interesting, and the mayor reported last night that she and the chief of police had met with the county. They actually noted that at the meeting, which was great. And the chief of police had a ton of really great feedback for the county. The mayor reported yesterday. So like I said, Councilman Levitt and I did attend the rollout. I want everybody to make a point, if you have a chance, to take a look at the county planning board website, and the bike report is on there, and you can kind of zoom into the Flemington area. And I got pretty jazzed up. I think it was very well done. And there was a lot of opportunity, I think, for maybe our planning board to incorporate some of the recommendations via our approvals process or our master plan. Specifically, one of the things they said in the meeting was that we may want to consider maybe adding to the checklist or to the process of site plan approvals that the applicants have cross-referenced the countywide bike plan and how that kind of overlays on our borough, and therefore require the applicants to incorporate some of their recommendations. It can be as simple as, bike racks, which I know we always do encourage, but things more that might be also be able to be captured as things like right-of-ways and bike lanes along specific roads. So just encourage everybody to look at it, and I think it's a really good opportunity for us to kind of encourage this. That's all.
Okay, I have to step back in then. We have a direct request from the county to work on an ordinance to send to the council to create an easement along the railroad from Stangl to Route 31. So that there can be an interactive walkway, because the easement there is too narrow right now, owned by the railroad. So they are looking for us to create an easement legally through ordinance.
Pedestrian or multi-use bike, is that exciting? We can figure it out
I
later.
can send you the email
Yeah.
from the county asking us to do that.
Okay.
So it should originate here and go to the council.
Okay.
Yeah, and that wasn't like directly discussed at the meeting I attended, just that the one that mayor attended. So, yeah, if you could copy us on that correspondence, that would be great, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. For the record, Dennis is on the meeting. He got here about 2 minutes ago. So if you want to.
Yeah.
It was 7:07 on my clock. So HPC comments, Dennis.
Yeah, sorry I was late. We didn't have a meeting since our last planning board meeting. So the only thing I have is just a reminder about the historic house and garden tour that's scheduled for Saturday, June 6th from 11 to 5. If anyone's interested in volunteering, let me know. They get a free ticket. Thanks.
Thanks. Anything else for Dennis? it's just to mention, we'll get to this in chair items. We are having, as a reminder, joint HPC planning board meeting on June 9th. Environmental Commission, Melissa.
We have not had a meeting since our last meeting, so the only reminder I have is our cleanup day is May 30th from 10 to 2. Any amount of time or hands willing to show up, meet us at the DPW shed, and we will be grateful for anybody's help.
And you are cleaning up specifically.
So we're gonna try to target the borough-owned areas around the historic properties that are featured on the house tour.
And where's the DPW?
Yeah,
Do we have to RSVP?
You can just show up.
just show up.
Just show up.
Where is the DPW shed?
It's between Main and Broad Street,
The
in
big-
that parking lot.
Big.
Great, thank you. Item 6 on the agenda this evening, professional reports. Our attorney is not here, and I'm assuming our conflict counsel has no report to give.
Called president.
That's good, all right. Bob, do you have anything? Okay, and planner and traffic engineer are not here. We do have item 7, approval of minutes. We are backlogged on minutes. I'm gonna ask the board's indulgence. We will get to that hopefully next meeting, if not the meeting after. We're gonna try to catch up now that Kayla's back working, so we'll take care of that. Item 8 on the agenda is resolution memorializing board action on application 2025-02 Spark Car Wash. That was approvals were granted at our last meeting. We do not yet have the resolution. Kara may have it for the next meeting. She wasn't sure when I talked to her on Friday, so we'll see about that. Item 9 on our agenda is the completeness determination for Jaja Global LLC, which is block 45, lot 12, 54 for 12. Lot 12, bridge 12, that's confusing. So if you just turn the camera on, give it a little video button.
For applicant, there we go.
And you're good.
And there I am.
Yes, you are.
And we can move that back a little bit. Stephen Gruenberg on behalf of Jaja Global LLC, who's the applicant and owner, along with my co-counsel, Mr. Lee Roth. On behalf of the applicant, this is our application for D2 bifurcated variance relief in order to allow for an expansion of the pre-existing warehouse distribution and an improvement of that site, which we think will be a real benefit to the borough. This is a D variance, so unfortunately, the mayor and councilwoman can't participate in these proceedings. We have Mr. Clerico's second completeness review, and I'm prepared to address those items in his completeness review that I think need worth discussion. And I'm sure he'll interrupt me if I need to, but I think he is
Before we go any
recommending.
further, can we just clarify for the record that there have been recusals?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you want us to go down to the audience? I'm happy to do that.
You don't have to if the applicant's okay with it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure those acknowledged. Thank you.
We can do it probably.
I'm sorry.
So I was gonna start taking questions from the audience.
So on page 3 of his report, he is recommending certain waivers to be granted. And I'll go to the ones that he's saying either denied or deemed as incomplete. And the first waiver request was M, dealing with the provision of prior resolutions of approval or denial. I provided with Mr. Clerico our Oprah request that we just made honestly today, requesting that information. So we will have that in time for a public hearing of response, and we would ask that that be waived for purposes of completeness only.
Now we're putting in a temporary waiver category.
Thank you. And then number 29, I have Mr. Rupnarain here with me to discuss this if need be, but this is a bifurcated application. We are not seeking site plan approval. If we have to come back before the board, if we receive use variance approval, deed variance approval, we're going to have a preliminary and final site plan application. And that's really where you would get into the nitty gritty of the proposed grading plan. Right now, we're just seeking a bifurcated plan. So at this point, we are going to ask that that be waived, which is consistent with having a bifurcated application for use variance purposes.
the only comment I would have there is that this isn't a floodplain. And it was difficult for me to figure out what the existing building floor elevations were on the site. Again, I don't know that the applicant's not asking for any relief at this time from the floodplain regulations, but I think it would be appropriate to at least have some idea of, they have added the floodplain delineation lines, the new and the enhanced ones on the drawing for the elevations. But excuse me, as far as the real critical improvement of the building itself, I think we should have some idea of what the elevation of the current building and the proposed building first floors are. Even though they're not asking for relief, just have some idea of the building would conceivably conform with, the floodplain regulations.
And that we can provide in lieu of a proposed grading plan, we can provide that additional information with respect to the current elevations. And that would be part of our testimony at the public hearing.
We deferred to the board if they felt they needed more grading information, but I think from our standpoint, at least at this stage, and knowing that would be something critical.
Knowing the grading, you're saying.
Knowing the floor elevations of the building, and what, because that, again, they're not asking for any relief under the floodplain regulations. We probably wouldn't be granting it at this stage. We'd be doing that if we were gonna do it in conjunction with the site plan itself. But I think it would be helpful to at least have some knowledge of what we're dealing with here.
You know, we could provide that elevation information as opposed to a whole proposed grading plan, correct, Mr. Rupert?
Yes.
So we would ask for a waiver from that requirement, condition upon us providing that elevation information to Mr. Clerico.
That would be a partial waiver. You want to make it temporary, so it's up to you. It'd be a partial waiver.
Correct. And the rest of the items, I think honestly are ministerial that I can have Mr. Roopnarain deal with, but it's checklist item 5 was having the proper name of the owner of the property be consistent throughout on the plans. I mean, that's just changing it from WMD to Jaja, which he already has done on his plans right here that he can deliver to Mr. Clerico. 11D, the site triangles and easements associated with them. I understand that Mr. Roopnarain and Mr. Clerico had a conversation where the sight lines are actually provided and there wouldn't be site easements because they're entirely within the right of way.
The sight lines are on the plan. They're within the right of way. I didn't see them. I'm not sure that exactly complies with the ordinance, but they do have information on the plan. So from a completeness standpoint, it's complete. When we get into the review of the application, we may have comments about that, but for this purpose, it's complete.
Thank you.
That would be 11D.
Correct. 14 is meets and bounds for municipal boundary not shown or tied into property boundary. I'm gonna have Mr. Roopnarain explain that situation and what we need to do there.
So part of the,
Who usually swear?
You do.
Okay.
You want to swear for completeness?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, this is all, sure. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth and best of your ability?
yes,
All right, state your name and spell your last name, please.
certainly, Eric Roopnarain, Rupnarain.
Thank you. Mr. Roopnarain, there was the comment about the meets and bounds for the municipal boundary not shown or tied into property boundary. Can you explain that comment and conversations you had, Mr. Butler?
Certainly, so part of the survey that my office completed, there was an original file map that was shown and recorded for this property. And it shows where the municipal boundary line is, but it doesn't provide any dimension from either the rear property line or from the public right of way. So there's, aside from graphically depicting where they believe on that file map the municipal boundary line is, we do not have any further information. I've spoken to Mr. Marigold earlier today, and what we're gonna have to do in order to provide definitive delineation of where the borough line is, we have to start looking through other deeds and other properties to find out if there are monumentation along the borough line that we can then extrapolate into this property to define exactly where the municipal boundary line is. I've checked with Board and Boring, who I'm also associated with, to see if they have any information. They haven't been able to come up with anything. I'm not quite sure if the borough has any information on old survey monumentation that might be available. But we are in the process of reviewing whatever public information is available to try to figure out where that municipal boundary line is.
So I guess the point is that that's really all site plan issues that we would deal with in terms of site plan, and we're really bifurcated this application to deal with the use variance issue first, correct?
Correct.
And I think you're okay with that?
Again, it is a bifurcated application. It is a checklist requirement though for a bifurcated application. So you have a graphical representation of the line, but it's not tied into anything. I think maybe for the purpose of deciding on the use of the property, whether this line was 5 feet or 10 feet off, I don't know would make much of a difference in you making your decision. That's up to the board, honestly. But clearly, when we get to site plan stages, we need to know that. I believe this line, I know Eric, your office did, wasn't this line established by the other property up close to the circle? The rest, I forget the guy's name.
So it's the same file map that I referenced is the one that we had available when this survey was done and the other survey. And I believe.
Did they physically establish it up there with a meets and bounds description? Thought they did. And in any event, it obviously has to be tied in at some point in time. Whether you want to consider for purposes of this bifurcated application, a permanent waiver, if you want to consider temporary waiver, that's really a deal. But I don't, out of the gate, I don't think we need to know exactly where that line is. Again, if it moves 10 feet one way or the other, I don't think it's going to affect your decision on whether or not you're going to grant the use variance.
And we would ask for that waiver. And the last item is the calculation in square feet and 1/1000th of an acre for the existing.
Which item is that, Steve?
16, I'm sorry.
16.
And you're asking for the area of disturbance calculated in square feet and 1/1000th of an acre. And we have to add 2 zeros, correct?
Yes,
So we provided the calculation, but to 1/100th,
I think just to a tenth of an acre.
to a 10th of an acre. So we can add the 2 zeros. And
Okay,
you've already done that.
and you actually gave us, that information is on the plan, the area of disturbance?
It's listed as, I think it's 4.6 acres, but an actual physical delineation around the property, that's not on file, but an actual, what I anticipate they're going to disturb within the borough. There is, I think it's on sheet number 4, right by the title block,
So what's on the sheet, the delineation or
just the acreage,
the acreage of disturbance?
yes.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
The checklist item is the calculation around the delineation. Is that what I'm understanding, Bob?
Yeah, calculate, well, the net gross area of disturbance. Eric is saying it's on the plan, but it's only on the plan in acres.
Correct.
Take his word for it, it's on the plan, I didn't see it.
We can, it's something that's, we can provide it to 1/1000th of an acre. I said that right. So with that relief, we would ask that you grant those waivers and deem this application.
So I'm looking at Mr. Clerico's letter and on page 4, sorry, page 3 of 4, I3 or whatever it is. It's also checklist item 2. It's just 2 and 5, which one is the owner applicant question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. It's the owner applicant is Jaja Global LLC.
Right, but like what's the missing checklist item? Because Mr. Grunberg said 5 was the owner information consistency, not.
You know what, maybe it'd be just simple, we try to make it just count what we're doing with it, so, we're recommending approval on item I, which was filing with the utility services. We're recommending a denial with the Oprah request. The applicant is providing their request for an Oprah. So that would be a temporary waiver. We said item 2 is incomplete. That's the owner applicant issue, the conflict. They're gonna deal with that. I haven't seen it. They're gonna revise the plan. Perhaps you have it with you tonight. I don't know. Okay.
I do.
So they're gonna revise, we haven't seen it yet, but they're gonna revise the plans. As of right now, item 2 is incomplete. Item 5 is again, it's an owner applicant issue. It's incomplete as of now, but they're gonna rectify that by giving us a revised plan tonight. Item 11D was the site triangle issue. We're gonna say that's complete. And again, we'll get into the merits of that as part of the review. Item 14 is the municipal boundary line issue. And the board agrees we're gonna do either a waiver or a temporary waiver for the purposes. I guess I would suggest you just make it a waiver for now, because it is a bifurcated application. If somehow in the course of the hearing, that becomes a critical issue for you to make your decision, obviously you'll tell the applicant you gotta have the information, but for now, I think you could probably put that in the category of a permanent waiver for the purposes of this bifurcated application. That was item 14. Item 16 was the area disturbance. They're gonna provide that. Item 26 was I was recommending a waiver. That's construction detail standards, the borough and county standards. I was recommending a waiver, so that'd be part of your action. The proposed grading, we're gonna do a partial waiver. They're just gonna provide us with additional information about the building floor elevations. I think that was it.
Okay, so make sure I have this right. So Bob, your recommendation is, your letter is to grant waivers for I-17 and 26, as in your letter. You're also saying the meets and bounds with the borough deadline, which was municipal line, which is 14 to be a waiver. You're saying that 11D is actually complete, as is 16, because the area of disturbance is on the plan. And that
Or it's on the plan to 1,000. They're gonna
modify that, and that a temporary waiver on M, which is the Oprah request for the prior stuff. And
Right, they made the request, they have to provide the response.
the right response, and then, so that's a temporary waiver, and that 29 would be a partial waiver. That instead of doing the full grading, that they would provide the elevations. Am I catching everything?
What
2 and 5.
And then 2 and 5 those would be temporary waivers,
would they get?
those are the owner information.
It's technically incomplete. They're gonna give us a plan that's gonna rectify it, but as of right now, we don't have a plan in front of us, so. It becomes, what you normally done in the past on stuff like that, you say it's incomplete, it becomes complete upon providing the documentation. They provide it tonight. I could issue a report or something tomorrow saying that those items have been addressed.
I mean, that's I would argue that it's actually complete. There might be a correction that needs to be made, but we did provide the information and.
Well, that's true. The information there is just conflicting.
Right, so we've now resolved the conflict.
If you want to consider that complete, you could certainly. We have a plan that says the owner and applicant is a different corporation from the application, which says it's somebody else.
So they technically provided
They
information.
provided inconsistent.
The tenant was listed on the plan, but the owner and the information of the applicant being the same as the owner was listed throughout the application and in my addendum. And in the correspondence, it was just, and we've corrected that. I mean, Eric's gonna provide that to you.
There's one entity, it's both the owner and the applicant, that was it?
Correct.
Okay, so for the purposes of, just to make, so it sounds like, please, Bob, let me know.
If you want to consider those temporary waivers, you can do those too.
Okay, temporary waivers, they're gonna, so it sounds like you've got. So your report, which recommended to deem it incomplete based on missing documentation. It sounds like we've covered all of those things to your satisfaction. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, I just went through them point by point.
Yeah, so we're covered, okay. Can I, so we can have some board discussion, just to, is there a, can I get a motion on completeness?
I'll second.
Even complete?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, the waiver.
with the
Right, with the
waivers,
request for
right?
waivers.
The request for waivers, okay. So that's Swingle and second Whitesman, okay, so discussion, those who can. Anybody online have anything you want to add? No. No, Joe? Okay, so call the roll, please.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman,
Yes.
Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Shoved,
Yes.
Mr. Schleifer,
Yes.
Mr. Dashna.
Yes.
Mr. Eckel. Oh, it's not here, sorry. Mr. Heen,
Yes.
Mr. Pavers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now the big question, when can I do this?
Okay, so I will let you know a couple things. We have a meeting next week, obviously that doesn't help you. June, we have two meetings noticed for June. June 9th, we are having a joint meeting with our HPC on some expansion or some clarification on some properties in the historic district. So that's a full meeting, and not a full meeting, but there's already stuff on the agenda for that meeting. And then June 23rd is the other noticed meeting in June. And you know, that's you're
I'm just gonna speak up on the 23rd, I'll be out of town.
so the 23rd is not a good day. So then if I don't have July in front of me written down, but
So the 9th is a no-go?
it could be on the 9th. I'm just letting you know, we have a will soon to be noticed joint meeting of the HPC, and because it involves clarification of properties in the historic district, I cannot tell you with any certainty as to how many members of the public are going to want to participate. So it could be a full meeting and it may not be. I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately, as to what that's gonna look like.
What days of the month are your meetings?
Second and fourth Tuesday.
Okay.
General,
Second, okay.
second,
So July 7th would be the meeting following.
That's the first.
That would be, July 14th would be the following month.
But we're not meeting.
I have on the schedule July 7th.
we
After that.
we moved a few meetings around over the summer dealing with holidays, so it's July 7th and July 28th, right? Yeah.
I have a conflict on the 7th, I could commit to July 28th.
Can we notice for June 9th? And then play it by ear to see what the schedule looks like that night, if it really is gonna be jammed up, and if need be, we can make an announcement to continue it to another meeting.
We have no problems announcing to carry with no further notice. We do that all the time. I'm just, you know, for your applicant, you know, the expense of having professionals here ready to go, they may be sitting here for a while. And just, we have updated our bylaws and we don't start new businesses, any new items past 9:30 and we're done at 10. So I'm just giving you fair notice on that. I don't think there's a problem noticing for the 9th, but you're gonna, I want you to be in full awareness of what the reality is.
July 28th? I wouldn't be that. Well, we didn't have to do it, we had to do it sometime. Yeah. Are you available July 28th?
Yeah.
So 28th.
All right, so we will kind of pencil you in for that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, much appreciated. I'm not gonna go back and.
No, you're good. It's fine. Item 10 on our agenda this evening is witness determination for West Allen Street LLC, block 13, lot 5. That was just for members of the board, we do have there was a report issued There was updated materials that were that I've sent out to everybody with the agenda, and then there was the updated report came out yesterday or today, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I could probably make this quick.
Go ahead.
We received the report, and we're gonna have to deal with some of the issues in the report. So rather than going line through line, I understand that the board previously deemed the application complete. You can continue it to be incomplete this evening, and we'll come back after dealing with Mr. Clerico's correspondence. It's not like I'm agreeing to everything in the correspondence, but rather than wasting everybody's time right now, there's certainly things that we have to provide, and I think you would deem us incomplete anyhow, so.
You wouldn't want to deal with the waivers recommended.
I would rather us not, actually. I'd rather us deal with all this when we get to the.
Yeah, and I don't have people here to be able to respond to each and every waiver request.
Okay, so can I get a motion to deem this application to be complete? Swingle, Whitesmith, Mr. Thomas, and I.
So a D variance, right?
No,
Not,
no.
you guys can
You all
participate.
Okay.
You can deem this incomplete, thanks.
Mayor Garrow,
Yes.
Councilmember Langerhart,
Yes.
Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman,
Yes.
Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Schob,
Yes.
Mr. Slinger,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson,
Yes.
Mr. Hain,
Yes.
Mr. Papers.
Actually,
We got more.
I got more than we needed. All right.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Have a nice night.
So item 11 on the agenda are chair items. So because Ms. Kaczynski could not be here, and I'd like for us to push the chair election to our next meeting, the 19th, so that Kara can be here. Kara was going to report back out on was going to circulate some redlined comments on the escrow update stuff. So obviously I want her to be here for that. We also, the bylaws committee has been meeting, and Jim's got some, we need Jim to make a report of that.
Yeah. Bylaws, master.
Sorry, bylaws, where are the bylaws? Not bylaws, sorry, it's master plan, sorry.
Okay.
No bylaws, sorry. Master plan subcommittee, so we're gonna do that on the next meeting, so there aren't any development applications there. And I think that if that's okay with everyone, I know there was something floating around about possibly not having a meeting next week because of agenda items, but we have these other things that are kind of out there that I'd like for us to not lose steam on, because we are gonna have a full meeting on June 9th, if that's okay with everyone, so. That's the kind of plan for the 19th. We'll need Jim for the master plan committee and Kara for the escrow requirements, but I don't think we're gonna need Bob or Jay for next week's day. And then June 9th is joint with HPC. Circulating around is the report from John Hatt, and the notice is gonna go out. That's all getting coordinated. We don't need to talk about it now, but just to make sure that everyone understands that that's happening in that meeting. And if there's anything else that comes in that wants the 9th, but it's gonna be a full meeting with that. And then we have.
Excuse me, you wouldn't need me for that one either.
Unless the only thing I can think of is if West Allen Street comes back with completeness. There could be conceivably, if Mr. Grimberg has that taken care of, the letter. The other application that's sitting out there that I just don't know is the YMCA application, community pool. We don't know where that is.
One of the items, not that.
Yeah.
One of the items can take up some time.
Understood. So if June 9th, if we don't, we certainly need our planner and our attorney, but if there's not something else, I think you're probably fine. And then because we're getting into the summer season, just if folks know that they're gonna miss meetings, just please make sure that you email Caitlin so that we can keep track of it, and we make sure we have quorum for applicants who are coming in, things like that. Any other chair items?
I don't know if it's the right time to bring it up, but
That was the right time.
okay, so I did
Can
go
you
to.
use the microphone?
Yeah, just so that.
Right, yeah, sorry.
Otherwise, yeah, I'll think it's online.
So I did go to the training, I guess it was
Yeah.
3 weeks back, so I probably just give a quick update on what I heard, at the training, so. a Couple of things, Judge Menon was there, he actually gave a talk at lunch. Some of the things that he kind of stressed was, a couple of things that stood out to me. Testimony should reflect the rationale, so this is if there is a resolution review. He specifically was calling out, to let your boards know that, it's why the board did what it did and what the board did. Is what should be in the testimony that should reflect the rationale of whatever decision was made. Because they only have the documentation from the record and the transcript to actually go by. Deliberation doesn't count, and public comment should be sworn in per Judge Menon, which I know there was some debate maybe during the session for the training that was actually given of whether that needs to be or not. But I figured the person who's gonna actually do the review of anything that would be a resolution said it needs to be, so I thought that was something I wanted to bring back to the board for consideration.
So a member of the public raising their hand should be sworn in.
Yes,
If they're testifying.
If there's.
if they're testifying, so
So-
if they're providing comment.
So question, it's, is it,
Like we had the other day, though, yeah.
so if someone's making a public comment, because it's gonna be part of the record for the board's decision, it should be sworn in.
Yeah.
Is what I've heard.
On an application, because for instance, a neighbor might say, what was all testified to by the applicant is untrue, here's why it's untrue.
That
So you want that sworn
kind
testimony.
of was like at Spark Car Wash.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Car wash guy.
interesting.
But people asking questions don't have to be.
Right, questions, no, but comments, yes, that was what he was.
Which is a hard thing for us to get into the habit of doing, it hasn't been our practice to do that here.
Yeah. So,
I take it back, there have been a couple of applications where we.
Yeah.
It's not a common practice in my experience anywhere,
Yeah.
but I think Judge Menon makes a good
Yeah.
point.
I guess we've asked sometimes when we've been asking for like name and address.
That's,
I know
that's,
it's different, but I feel like is that when we,
we could, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, we could certainly do that, the name of the address has
That's-
other statutory reasons.
Yes.
Why we need to know who's within 200 feet or not, and all those other things. Thank you.
so, yeah. Some other things that came up, he did stress, of course, guiding principles, arbitrary, capricious, reasonable. Is what it all always goes back to. There was a number of questions in the room that asked about, well, what do you do in this case, what in this case, and it was the same answer at this time. I think everybody already knows that. The other things that came up, not related to his talk, but I thought were interesting, is there was a conversation during one of the sessions around data centers. And there was a recommendation that if it's not currently called out in our ordinances, whether we want it or we don't want it, to make it explicit. So not just as a non-use, but be very explicit so that we're covered. So that'd be something for consideration.
That's something that Barrington's planning board is looking at right now as well.
Okay.
We may want to check in with them.
I
They're
think we should bring this to the master.
Yeah, well, Jim is doing
Jim is
this.
doing it all.
Yeah, I mean, we've got these big lots where we want good stuff and data centers is not something the public
Yep.
can enjoy themselves at, so
Generally.
generally no.
Yeah, I would just encourage you to kind of check in with maybe the planners can touch base with each other. See what they're going through right now.
I'll send it out to Jim to
Thank
ask him to, yeah.
And then I think the last thing I was gonna bring up, there's affordable housing was a very hot topic given current situation. So very interesting conversation around there.
Just because most municipalities are in trouble, but
Exactly.
Flemington Borough is
Yep.
not.
Exactly.
We've been in compliance for 4 rounds now.
Yeah.
We're in compliance
A
through.
lot of the other ones aren't, and there was a lot of concern about how they're gonna make it work.
We should be concerned about how they're gonna impact the town that's in compliance,
Yeah.
our neighbors all around us.
So those were the big ones, but I thought it was a really great training overall. It gave a packet that I probably start bringing every single time, so when I hear different things, I refer back, but learned a lot, and I felt like the first meeting back, last meeting that I came to, a lot of things made a lot more sense, so highly recommend it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Did you pass the test?
I did, well, I'll find out, Felix, you'll let me know in like a couple months.
They don't say right there?
What's that?
They don't say you're right in there?
No, they just send me the certificate.
Yeah.
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 But
I
did it.
Online, they're
I
like.
did it 100 years ago.
Years ago too, and
And
they
they-
created it right for you.
Yeah, I don't feel like.
It was 10 questions.
Yes.
All of them, so if I didn't pass, then oh boy.
Alright. No, it was great.
All right, anything else under chair items for anybody? Great. Caitlin sent out bills a little while before the meeting.
One of them is,
What do you got?
it's the one from Beth, I just questioned the, whether it goes to us or not, sorry.
Yeah.
The other one.
In which invoice?
Yes.
It's okay.
It's the one that has to do with rescue squad.
That's us.
That's not us.
That's not a.
The other ones are fine.
It says Project Rescue Squad.
Prepare for an
Attend
attend
free
pre-app meeting, that was Beth.
That's not the council or the planning
I
board.
think that might be.
Vitamins.
Like, why would he be? I don't really.
I know
Already
We
nothing
do
about
have
that.
an escrow for that.
Okay, but what are they doing over there? I thought they were building a place over there.
I'm not sure what that is, but there was a meeting, Rescue Squad put up some escrow, they had an informal, but that was.
Long
a year
time ago.
That
Are
was
they
a year
moving,
ago.
Well, they were supposed to move to some place off of like Case or something
Yeah.
like that, but maybe coming back that way.
Royal Road.
Well Road, it was off.
Yeah.
It was
The trade trucks.
Yeah.
There somewhere. They were selling bricks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, so let's pull that out and let's, if you can follow up with Beth and just
Yeah.
ask.
You can pull it out and approve the rest.
Yes, we can. So get a motion to audit the bills with the exception of invoice 7919 from Common Beth.
Second.
All right, those two got it today.
I'm sorry, that was the motion, Mayor Carroll, second, Mr. Schleifer.
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Carroll.
Yes.
Councilmember Engelhardt,
Yes.
I'm tripping over that. Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman,
Yes.
Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Schob,
Yes.
Mr. Schleifer,
Yeah.
Mr. Dosh.
Yes,
Okay, that's all we need. Thank
all right. Thank you. We have no, we do not need to go into executive session, so get a motion to adjourn. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you.
you.
Take care.